Just grabbing this, pulling it out of the way. We have some leftover baby weights from earlier this evening, or earlier this morning. Whew. Let's do this. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to make the suffering we're about to do, working on our stretches, a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. And if you need that little help practicing consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe. We're here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and that's the spiel. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is warm up. We warm up together with three and a half-ish kind of warm-up exercises. And the first thing we do is a high knee. All right? We're going to bring that knee up as high as we can. Lift. From here, we're going to open up that hip. We're going to point the knee out to the side. Keep that knee as high as you can. Lift, 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 lift. From here, we're going to rotate the leg. All right? We want to get to a position where it looks like the ankle is as high as the knee. All right? From here, we're going to keep going. We want to bring that ankle up higher, 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 higher. Oh, your hamstring might start getting a little bit crampy for a second there. And if it does, you can bring the leg down and back. From here, hamstrings, glutes are flexed. We're trying to feel the stretch here in the hip flexor, and that is 1 rep. We're gonna do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side, and we're gonna get right into it. Keep that core nice and tight and strong. Try not to start twerking while you're doing all of these leg movements, and we're ready to begin. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 1 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3. You can hold on to something for a little bit of support in the balance department. That's 4 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. There's the last 1 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. Oh, my muscles are flexing too hard. Whew. Let me take a quick look at comments. I think I saw some stuff come in. Travel Darksy says hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Gayeta says, hello, everyone. Welcome back, Gayeta. It's good to see you. And that's it. All right, let's go back into it. Hip cars, other side. Breathe. Keep that core tight. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 1 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Oof. Down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back, that's 3 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back, that's 4 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back, that's 5 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back, that's 6 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back, that's 7 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back, that's 8. 2 more high knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back, that's 9, last 1 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's 10. Hip cars, going forward. Shake out your legs, do a little dance, do a little wiggle, relax as many muscles as you can. And now we're gonna go in reverse. To go in reverse, we're using basically the same exact movements as when we're going forward, we're just going in reverse. So there is one thing I want to keep reminding you about, and that is I really, 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 really want you to keep the back nice and tight. And that's because when we do the first move, we bring this leg down and back, we tend to get a little bit so excited that we start putting a whole bunch of pressure on our low back. All right? And we get into a situation where we're doing this, where we're putting a whole bunch of arch right here. That's over time, it's going to cause a little bit of irritation, it's going to cause a little bit of discomfort. All right? So instead of letting yourself getting into this bent back situation, keep the core tight, and that will protect the spine. All right, that's it. Core tight, flex those abs. Let's go. back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 1, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 5, 5 more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 6. Remember, these are all about using your muscles to get as deep into that end range of motion as possible so that we're building strength while we're working on mobility. Ankle up, ankle down, knee, I think there's 9, last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. So if you're not getting super tired, if you're not trying to give your, maybe not 100%, if you're not trying to give 90% on some of these leg positions, give it some more. All right, let's go. Last leg, we're almost done. Okay. Core tight. Protect those back bones and vertebrae. And let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 1, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 5, 5 more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 8, 2 more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 9, last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 10. Oh, that is our hip cars. That is warm-up exercise number 1. Your hips, hopefully, are moving a little bit smoother, even if they are super tired right now. And if you're just joining in, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, build a little community, and make stretching a little bit more fun, a little less just pure suffering. So if you like that, if you need help practicing consistency, make sure to hang out. We got a whole bunch more stretching to do. And if you like the show, hit follow, hit subscribe. All right, we're going to move on into the second warm-up exercise. What we're going to do now is we're going to fold at the hips and get into this L shape. If your hamstrings and low back are really tight and you're a little bit higher up, that's totally fine as part of the process. All right, from here, especially if you have some low back tension, I want you to just try to relax. Okay, breathe and let some tension go. When your low back muscles finally relax a little bit and you're starting to feel the stretch come in just from your hamstrings, we are ready to add a little bit of movement. Stretch or warm-up exercise number 2 is called the elephant walk, and that's what we're about to begin doing. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold the belly button down as deep as we can, and then we're going to switch the knees, and they're going to switch which one is bending and which one's straight. All right? Switch. Okay. Keep going. Switch. I am in a state of extra soreness because this is the final live of the weekend. We have done 4 in the last, actually, 5 in the last, 50 hours. And so my hamstrings are crying a little bit inside. And that means, my suffering is extra bad compared to possibly you. If you've also been here for 5 lives in the last 48 hours, you're probably also kind of tired and kind of sore. If this is your first time, you don't have to be here all 5 of those lives. I just do extra ones on the weekend to be inclusive and have other people come and start the day with stretching instead of just ending the day with stretching. All right, we've been talking about how sore I am for a while. If you are feeling like the warm-up exercise has gotten a little bit easier since you began, you're like, oh, hey, this wasn't so bad, it was kind of rough when we started, then fold yourself a little bit deeper. Get deeper into that stretch and keep going. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into a little bit of a squat. Come on back into standing, and that is part 1 of the elephant walk position moves. We got another one. What we're going to do next is called thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is basically neck to low back. So everything in the middle of your spine is called your thoracic spine. And that part of your spine is designed to twist and shift and wiggle and do a whole bunch of different movement. Your lumbar spine, the low back, is not designed to do that much. So it unfortunately often takes on a lot of burden because other parts of your body isn't moving nearly as well as it could be. So thoracic spine movement, very important, takes off some pressure in the low back. Hip movement is really important because it also takes some pressure off of the low back, because the low back is potentially, I guess, the weakest link that just suffers when everything else is bad. All right, thoracic rotation. What we're going to do, we are going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. And we're going to fold forward, just like we were before. But instead of just switching from side to side, trying to bring our belly button down, we're going to do a little bit of rotation. What I want you to do is take the hand from the bent knee side. I want you to reach across your body to the straight leg. I want you to push against the outside of that straight leg, and help rotate your chest into the direction of that leg. So my right leg is straight, my left hand is pushing against the right leg, my chest is rotating to the right, my right arm is reaching up into the air behind me. I'm trying to reach back behind me, and I'm gonna look at my hand, so my neck is also rotating. I'm gonna take a breath in, and I'm gonna exhale and reach a little bit more. Exhale. Oh, that is half of a rep. It was a lot of information. I hope it's useful and it's helpful, and I'm not just overwhelming you for no reason. We're going to do the other leg. This leg is bent. Other leg is straight. Right hand is going across to the left leg. It's pushing against the outside of the left leg, and we are opening up that chest. Open, 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 open. Open, 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 open. Breathe. And reach a little further. Whew, that is officially 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these in total, so we got 4 more to go. Let's go. Leg is bent, leg is straight. Arm from the bent leg side, reaching across the body, pushing against that straight leg, opening up that chest. Open, open, open. Neck is looking at the hand. Hand is reaching behind you. Breathe. Exhale. Reach. Oh. Other side. Bent leg, straight leg, push, open. Breathe, reach. That is 2 reps. We got 3 more to go. I talk fast and I'm doing a lot of stuff. That does not mean you have to move fast. If you can't reach as far as I can, that is absolutely a-okay. Take it slow. Take it at whatever pace you need to. I'm trying to show you a little bit of everything and what's possible, potentially, so that you can have something to aim for. Okay? All right, let's go. I think we did 2, so we got 3 more. Bent leg, straight leg, push, open, breathe, inhale, exhale, reach, other side, breathe, reach, that's 3, 2 more, open, and reach, and other side, that's 4, we got 1 more round, let's do it. Open, 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 open. Breathe. Reach. Other side. Open, 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 open. Reach. Breathe. Oh, that is a whole bunch of thoracic rotation. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a little bit looser. Might not be the most comfortable at the moment because you were working so hard trying to reach, but I promise in a couple of seconds it'll feel a little bit looser and it'll be a little bit easier. Your shoulders, on the other hand, they probably don't reach for anything ever that hard, and they're probably a little bit more tired. That's okay. We don't have anything else that we need to do that require the shoulders, so you can just be lazy with them for the rest of the show. Cool? All right, we're going to move on to our 3rd and final warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch, and it looks a little bit like this. You don't have to do this just yet. I'm going to demonstrate real quick. We're going to sit our butts down into a deep squat position on one leg, and we're going to extend the other leg out to the side. From here, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side, keeping our hips as low as we can. We're going to pause there on the other side, and we're going to come back. Boom. That is a Cossack switch. However, it's probably a really hard exercise for most of us to get into, and we're going to do some pre-stretching to get us prepared for those crazy positions. All right. What I want you to do is recognize that what we were just doing was basically a deep squat with the leg out to the side, right? So get into a deep squat first. And it doesn't have to be a great deep squat. It doesn't have to be a perfect deep squat. Just try to bring your knees to your chest and try to lean forward so that at least your toesies are on the ground. You're probably going to benefit the most from having your heels come up off the ground. So lean forward just a little bit. You'll feel a big stretch in your Achilles tendon, in your calves, and just chill for a little bit right here. All right. You do not have to have your heels down on the ground. For most of us, if your heels came down, you'd start falling backwards and there'd be no stretching of your ankles at all. So lean forward, work on relaxing those ankles. All right. From here, as soon as you get a little bit comfortable, I want you to add some complexity. I want you to do some wiggling, some shaking, some nudging, some squeezing, some turning yourself into mush, so that you can work your hips and you can work your ankles. All right. And we're doing this because we got some crazy movement happening real soon, and I'm just making sure your ankles are prepared for it. All right. It's time. Let's do this. We're doing this together. All right. We're setting up right now for some Cossack switches. If your legs are still underneath you, you're holding your chest to your legs. Your chest to your legs. Stick your hands straight down into the ground. Okay. From here, we're going to extend the other leg out to the side. Super straightforward. Heel is down. And we're going to find a position, and it's going to be different for everybody, where your heel is down on the ground and you're as low and compact as you can be. Okay? So, you're here. Or maybe you're here. Or maybe you're here. Wherever it is, you're in your lowest position while your heel is on the ground. The higher you are, the easier it should be to switch and bring your hips to the other side. When you get there, squish as deep as you can and come back. If you're a little bit lower to the ground and you need a little bit of support because you can't quite get there, you're not strong enough, you can put your hands down to give yourself a little bit of support. All right? And if you have a stool, if you have a chair, you can use it here too. It doesn't have to be just when you can reach the floor. That's it. That's everything. We're doing 10 reps of these. We're going to start right away. I'll explain more things as we go. Your heels are down. You're as low as you can go. Use your hands, support your butt. Get all the way over, get to the other side. Squish, get low, breathe, exhale. And come back. That is 1 rep. Keep going. Back over. Relax, exhale, come back. Relax, exhale, go back. This is number 3, I think. Keep going. 3 is done. 4. If your inside of your knees is getting a little bit achy and you're getting a little uncomfortable from this angle, from trying to scoot your butt from side to side, you can stop doing the really deep stuff. You can come up a little bit, come across, and then focus on just sitting down into a deep stretch. Then up and across and sit down into that deep stretch. I think this is 5. We got 5 more. Up, across, and down. This helps you still get all of that intense stretchy stuff happening at the bottom of this Cossack switch, but it takes a little bit of pressure off of your knees. So if your knees can't handle it, up, across, and down. All right? Up, across, and down. I think we've done like 8. We got 2 more. If you're ready to make things a little bit more difficult on yourself, you can try and sit up a little bit straighter, extend your arms in front of you, and continue. The straighter your spine, the more low back muscles are going to work, and put them to work. I think that's 10. We have just finished our warm-up, and if that sentence scares you because you're like, what? That's the warm-up? What the heck? Don't worry, this is a stretching show, and before we stretch, we have to make sure everybody's warmed up and our joints are prepared and our hamstrings are freshly relaxed and stressed out so that we can get the most out of our stretches. All right? So, with that, I think it's time to get into our stretches. The first stretch that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch, and I recommend you go grab a little bit of a cushion, some padding for that stretch, because we are going to drop onto one knee. Oh, and I completely missed this piece of padding. Probably should have looked at what I was doing instead of just dropping my knee. We're going to drop one knee down into the ground, and we're going to do the stretch like this. All right? That knee like support. So go grab some cushioning. All right? Take a couple seconds, grab a sip of water. My knee is super itchy. I don't know why. I feel like I sneeze really hard. Been scratching my nose all show. It's good. Everything's fine, I think. We'll see if I sneeze later. Okay, we're continuing. I hope you've grabbed your cushion. The yoga block, I'm not actually going to use. That was just the thing that was super convenient because I could not find my little square of foam. It could be an old towel that you have rolled up. It could be a shoe, a flip-flop that has a little bit of padding that you just rest your knee on. Anything with a little bit of foam will do. Don't have to get fancy, okay? From here, I want you to bring both your knees down. And I want you to look down at your knees. Look what your hips are doing, all right? I want you to maintain this relationship with your hips for the whole entire stretch. And that's because oftentimes when we get into this position where one leg is sticking straight out in front, we get super tempted to start doing some side splits. Doing some front splits. So one hip ends up way over here, the other hip is like starting to fall backwards. Our whole body is kind of twisting and rotating, and now the hamstring stretch is a whole bunch of different stretches combined, and we're not actually focusing on the hamstrings, okay? We don't want that. So bring your hips back in, square them up, like as if your knees were together right underneath you. And with that, we're ready to begin. I'm going to turn around so you don't have to stare at the top of my head for the whole entire stretch, and you can see what my body is doing instead. And you don't have to move because I cannot see you at all right? So knee straight down, hips square, leg in front. We are folding this belly button down into the thigh. Cool? Fold, 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 fold. Whew. That is how we start a hamstring stretch. From here, I want you to breathe. I want you to try your best to relax. I want you to relax your hamstrings, your calves, your toes, your ankles, your feet, your glutes, your low back. Relax as much as you can, and I want you to breathe. Exhale. Sigh out all the air in your lungs, and while you sigh, relax. Lose some tension. All right? Next up, we're going to add a big inhale, an intense exhale, and we're going to fold at the same time. When I say inhale, I mean we're going to try and take up as much air as we can into our lungs without inflating like a balloon, without popping up, staying where you are. Then we're going to slowly exhale. We're going to let as much air out of our lungs as possible, and at the same time, we're going to fold our belly button down into our leg, okay? That's it. You're just going to have to figure it out as we do it. Cool? All right, inhale. Exhale and fold. You're in a new deep position. Keep on breathing nice and slow and try your best to relax. Sigh out as much air out of your lungs as possible. And try to relax. Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your calves, relax your hamstrings, relax your glutes, relax your low back, relax everything. And breathe. All right, that was our first inhale, exhale, fold. Believe it or not, we got another one in like 3 more seconds. So take your time, breathe. We're going to do our next one. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down, 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 down. Fold. Exhale, exhale. Okay, now we are in a much deeper stretch than we started. And hopefully you're impressed with how deep you are in this stretch. Your hamstrings are probably crying. They're probably not going to want to do anything, but you can try to relax your calves, your toes, your feet, your glutes, your low back. Once again, this is our starting point. We're holding for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. We are folding our belly buttons down to our thigh. This is not about trying to smash your face into your knee or your chest into your knee. If your back is arching like this, if your neck is arching like this, and you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your neck, in your upper back, even in your mid back, you're working too hard, relax. All of this hamstring stretch happens at the folding of the hips. All right? So, right above your hips are your belly buttons, or is your belly button. And you can just focus on bringing the belly button down. That's the only thing you got to focus on. All right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's enough. Oh, lean back, come out of this. Oh. That's our hamstring stretch. But that's not all of our hamstring stretch, because we got a whole nother leg to do. Drop those knees, figure out what squaring them up means. Again, healthy reminder of what your hips, how your hips should be positioned. Extend the other leg out in front, and let's begin to fold. Bring that belly button down. Whew. The reason why we do one leg at a time is because it makes the stretch more intense for each leg, but also because different legs might have different amounts of flexibility. If you have an old injury, if you have something weird going on, you might be able to get a little bit more deep into the stretch with one leg than the other. I have an old left hamstring injury, and my left leg is my worst leg. My right leg is significantly better. But if you did only both legs at the same time, you might never know. All right? I hope you've been breathing. I hope you've been relaxing. I hope you've been thinking about your toes, your feet, your calves, because I forgot to say anything about it. We're going to inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Okay. This is deep in our stretch. Relax your calves, relax your feet, relax your toes, relax your glutes, relax your hamstrings. Breathe, sigh, exhale. Be as lazy as you can. Help your muscles to relax. If your hamstrings are crying, you can stick your fingers into them, massage them, distract your brain from how intense that stretch is, and breathe. All right. One last inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do this. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Okay, this is a super deep stretch now, hopefully, for all of us, not just me. Breathe, sigh, relax, try and hold as little tension in your body as possible. And we're ready to begin. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Part of the reason why we do this in a kneeling position is so that we can put both our hands down on the ground to reduce the intensity of the stretch. If it gets too much for you, you can always push away, reduce some of the stretch. If you're feeling like you're a little bit off balance, well, good thing you got both hands on either side. And keep going. Breathe, sigh it out, relax. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If your knees are feeling a little achy, feeling a little bit sensitive, you can give them a slight bend. That will take a bunch of pressure off the knee, and it will also reduce the intensity of the hamstring stretch. And you can fold a little bit forward. You can always straighten out your knee at the very, very, very end. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. I don't know why I'm making sounds like I'm Santa Claus. We are 3.5 months too late past. Oh, but my hamstrings are tired, and I hope your hamstrings got quite a workout. Part of the reason why we spend so much time on the hamstrings is because a lot of the other stretches that we are going to do require a little bit of hamstring flexibility or are a little bit more complex. And so it's more than just hamstring flexibility, some other stuff. But if we focus on getting the hamstring stuff done early, you can go focus on the other stuff. Cool? All right, with that, it's time to go focus on other stuff. We're getting into the second warm-up, not a warm-up. We're getting to the second stretch. We're getting into the butterfly stretch. And what I want you to do is sit your butt up against a wall. I am using a mat underneath me with a little bit of foam because it has a little bit more friction than me going directly on the floor. You need a little tiny bit of grip so that your legs don't slide out when you're doing the butterfly. All right, and I'll demonstrate that in just a second. When you are resting your butt, your low back, your shoulders, your head up against the wall, we are ready to get into a butterfly position. All right, grab your feet, bring them together, pull them in, and also pull up your pants if you're wearing them, because you don't want to stretch out the knees of your pants and have those baggy knee things going on, right? And when you're in position, right here, like this, we're ready to begin. I want you to stretch out the groin muscles. That's what the butterfly stretch is all about. And the way you do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground. Okay? I want you to get stronger whenever you're doing training with me. So I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to use your glutes, and I want you to pull your legs open with your muscles. Okay? And remember, we're sitting up against that wall, practicing some nice posture. Flex those muscles, contract them, pull your knees down into the ground. If you are a newbie, you just joining in for the first time, you're like, how do these muscles work? How do I know if it's happening? If you're feeling more of a stretch here in the groin area, it's probably working. If you've seen your knees go down a little bit deeper into the ground, it's probably working. If your knees kind of move down a little bit and now they're just vibrating because you're trying really hard but you're not going anywhere, that's probably also a sign that is working. The only time when it's not working is if you feel nothing at all, and if your knees are coming up towards the center instead of down. So I guess there's two things that could be going wrong. Anyways, from here, if you're contracting your muscles, if you're trying your very best to bring your knees down into the ground, we're ready to move on. We're trying to make it more difficult for ourselves. We're taking our hands, we're placing them right underneath our knees when we're pushing down into the ground, applying some more pressure. When you do this, you're pushing your legs down, but you're also pushing your head into the wall. So if you're feeling a lot of pressure in your head, in your shoulders, it's because you're pushing your legs down. All right, that's it. Breathe, 30 seconds, 29, 28, 27. Don't hold your breath. Remember to keep on breathing. When you exhale, see if you can get just a little bit deeper into that stretch. 23, 22, 21, 20. If you've been flexing those glutes, if you've been flexing the outer thigh muscles this whole time, relax them and push your arms down a little bit harder. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 5 more seconds. Flex all those muscles again. Flex, 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 flex. Push your legs down. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, relax everything. Let your hands go. First thing you might notice is that your wrists are a little bit tired from pushing so hard into your legs. If that's the case, you can give them a little shake, a little wibble, wobble, jiggle, whatever, and they'll probably be okay. From here, if your knees popped up after the stretch, that's totally fine. That's normal. What we need our legs to do now, however, is to be able to move. So if your legs are feeling a little bit stuck, they're not moving at all, then I want you to give them a little bit of a shake. Be like, hey, we got stuff to do. Wake up, and do the same for the other side. Even it out a little bit, and hopefully you get to the point where your legs can flap like the wings of a butterfly. All right? From here, we're ready for stretch number 3. We're doing the pancake. I recommend, if your floors are slippery, you get rid of your socks. My floor is slippery, and I'm getting rid of my socks. And I'm also getting rid of the foam mat because we do not need it. Okay? The pancake is all about folding so your whole body looks like boom, like that, like your Pac-Man closing up your hands, except it has nothing to do with Pac-Man. So let me try that again. You are folding your upper body in between your legs like so, and you're trying to get as deep as you can into that position. And it's a really, 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 really hard stretch. So we try to use gravity as much as possible to give us as much help as possible to make our lives easier so we can be as lazy as possible, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to open up your legs pretty wide. If you need a very specific number, you can aim for like 90 degrees, and that's a good place to start, all right? But just open as wide as you comfortably can get. Cool? From here, we are folding and bringing the belly button down towards the ground. This is our starting position for the pancake. What we want to do, like I said earlier, is have gravity do as much work for us as possible. The way you get gravity to do as much work for you as possible is to get your upper body as close to horizontal as you can. And to make gravity work even more for us, you can extend your arms out above your head so that your biceps are by your ears, and relax. Breathe. You should feel that folding happening here at the hips. And if you're a masochist and you really want to suffer, you can hold something, probably like a pound or like a bottle of water, in between your hands and keep going just like before. Cool? That is how we use gravity to get us deeper into the stretch. And if you're ready, we're fully informed to keep going and finishing up some pancake. If you're folding and you are ready for more intensity with your legs, you can open up your legs a little bit wider. As long as it does not hurt, as long as it doesn't feel like it's pinching here in the hip, you can go as wide as you want. And we're ready to begin. Fold, 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 fold. Bring that belly button down, 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 down. You don't have to have your biceps by your ears the whole entire time. If you get tired, you can rest your hands. Keep on coming down. Breathe. Come on down. Breathe. Fold the belly button down, get loose, drape your body onto the floor. We're ready to go. 30 seconds. Let's do it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Keep on breathing. Slowly exhale and relax as many muscles as you can. See if you can fold a little bit deeper every time you breathe. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Put your hands down. Oh, push up out of that position. Breathe. Oh, if you're feeling kind of stuck right now, that's okay. That's normal. I'm also feeling very stuck. You can wiggle your toes in, and then wiggle your heels in, and then wiggle your toes in, and then wiggle your heels in, and then, something like 5 years from now, you'll finally get to something close to standing, and you'll be able to get out of this stretch. Oof. Part of the reason why we spent so long in the hamstring stretch was because the pancake has some pretty significant hamstring requirements. And, you're probably feeling it right now. Whew. That was our pancake. The main muscle groups that you should be feeling while doing that stretch are your adductors, ADDUCTOR. They are the inner thigh muscles. Their job when they contract is to pull your leg in to the center of your body or a little bit past center. And you were not doing that. You were doing the opposite. You were opening up your legs way wide. So they were getting a nice stretch. But they weren't only getting a stretch. You were hanging out in this position for a really long time. So they also had to contract and stay really strong to keep you standing there, right? That contraction has pros and it's got cons. The cons is you suffer and your whole leg is probably vibrating and shaking, trying to keep you stable. The pro is you're getting stronger, and you need that strength for your side splits. That's why we do the standing pancake, because you need to build some strength here in this position. All right? The other place you should be feeling it is in your hamstrings. Doesn't matter if you're folding forward with your legs wide or if you're folding forward with your legs together. As long as you're folding forward, as long as your hips are folding forward, your hamstrings are getting stretched, and they're probably a little unhappy with you right now. Luckily, our next stretch doesn't have any hamstring kind of. The next stretch that we're getting into is the figure four or the pigeon. If you have a favorite, go ahead and jump right into whatever it is that you enjoy. I believe I explained the figure four this morning, so I'm going to explain the figure four this night to wrap it up tonight to wrap things up. We're going to do the figure four, but I'll do a quick demo that encapsulates all of both the stretches. All right. We're going to take one leg, we're going to cross it over to the opposite knee. We're going to grab that leg, we're going to bring it up to our belly button. We're going to fold that belly button down towards our legs. And it's going to look a little bit like this. We want to feel a stretch here. It's technically the glute, but it's going to look like the side of your hip. All right? And you might also feel it sort of in the hamstring, sort of in the outside of the thigh. You might even feel a little bit of a pinching, foldy sensation here at the hip flexor. All right? So that's the general appearance of what we're about to do, but we're doing it lying down in the figure four, and in the pigeon, we do it with our belly button down. So, come on over to the ground. We're going to get into some figure four. Or, if you're doing the pigeon, you can do the pigeon. But if you're just following along, we're doing the figure four. I want you to lay on your backs, and I want you to cross one leg over the other, like so. Once you've formed this triangle, I want you to reach your hand through the triangle. I want you to reach around the other leg, and I want you to pull the leg in towards your chest. Whew. If you've done any of these stretches before, you know if your arms are fully extended, you're probably not remotely close to how deep you can actually get in this stretch. So I want you to pull that leg in. Pull, 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 pull. You might feel a stretch in your leg muscles and they'll be like, no, I don't want to. But you can do better, I believe. Take a small breath and pull some more. Small breath and pull some more. Don't hyperventilate now. So I'm saying small breath for a reason. Small breath, pull some more. And once you are deep in that stretch, we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. Don't fall asleep. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. If the stretch is feeling too easy, too chill, pull a little harder. Keep pulling. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Relax. Drop your arms down to the sides. Drop your legs down too if you want. Kind of flop your knees to one side. Let the low back relax. Flop your knees to the other side. Let your low backs plural, low back relax. And give yourself a couple of seconds. Breathe. Chill. Sigh out the tension. And let's get into the other leg. All right. We just crossed the left leg over the right one. We're going to do the opposite now. Right leg over the left. Once again, we're reaching our hand through the triangle we just made and around the outside leg and pull that knee in. Pull, 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 pull. Give me a second. I'm going to spin around on my back like a turtle. Stuck and continue. Pull, 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 pull. Shallow breath. Pull, 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 pull. Breathe. Pull some more. Pull, 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 pull. And when you're feeling that stretch nice and deep, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. If your eyes are closed right now and your hands are slipping and you're catching yourself, pull harder. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, drop everything down. Relax. Let your arms relax to the sides. Let your knees drop. Let the low back twist a little bit and relax, 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 relax. Whew. Come on up. We just wrapped up the fourth of our 5 stretches. We're ready to move on into our 5th and final stretch, and we're doing some side splits. If you've never done a side split before, don't worry. It is not that scary. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to talk you through it. We're going to start from a beginner level, and we're going to slowly drift our butts down into more advanced positions. All right? So everything will apply. Whew. If you're just joining and you're like, wait, what, side splits? Don't worry. We do 45. You're here at a side split show, by the way. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day because we're practicing the most important quality, consistency. And we're doing this every day to build a little bit of community. We're trying to make the suffering that we do on this floor a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, so that those 3 things, consistency, community, suffering, not being as bad, help us all move a little bit better and work on our side splits. All right? So, if you like that stuff, hit follow, hit subscribe. If you're still not sure, we got some side splits to do, so you can make a decision later. And let's get into it. Side splits. Before we get into the side splits, let's talk safety for a second. I recommend you stand right in front of a wall. All right? I recommend 8 to 12 inches in front of that wall. Usually, for most people, that's going to be 1.5 footsteps in front of the wall. And the reason, excuse me, I just burped because I had dinner right before the live. You'd think I'd learn having a live every single day not to eat dinner too close, but I did. Anyways, when you stand close to the wall, it helps keep you from falling backwards. All right? So what I want you to do is get close to that wall. What I want you to know is when we are trying to figure out this side split position, we're trying to wiggle around, we're trying to get deep into the stretch. You're going to have your legs apart, you're going to have your hands down on the ground, you're going to be squirming, you're going to be wiggling, and at some point, it's possible that you've leaned too far back, and all of a sudden, you're floating, and you're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, you're swimming through the air, and you start falling backwards. Luckily, I've forced you to stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, so now your butt is resting on the wall. Everything is totally fine, and you can just pop off the wall, and you're back into your stretch, right? If you were to do that same exact thing without the wall behind you, you're squishing, you're squeezing, you're trying to get deep into the stretch, and all of a sudden you've leaned too far back, and you're like, no, 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 ah! Oh, that would really hurt your butt. And the higher off the ground you are, the more it would probably hurt. So don't let that happen to yourself. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. I promise I speak from experience. In fact, you just saw me experience it like 10 seconds ago. So once you have set yourself up in front of the wall, and I've dusted my pants off, I don't know why I sweep the floor right before we started, but muscle memory. We're ready to begin. Open up your legs as wide as you can comfortably get, all right? If your hips are hurting right here, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back in just a little bit. Once that pain is gone, we are ready to fold. Focus on that belly button. Bring it down, 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 into the ground. If this looks like how we were starting our pancake stretch, that's absolutely right. That's how we started. From here, however, I want you to put your hands down on the ground, give yourself a little bit of support. If you cannot reach the floor or you can't get there very comfortably, feel free to use something for some hand support. This could be you switching positions and finding like a coffee table, finding a chair, finding a stool, finding some yoga blocks even, and textbooks. Cool? When you're here in this position, it is very likely that you can actually go a little bit deeper into your side split immediately. And that is because when you're folded forward, it relieves some tension on that hip joint. So if you can, give that a shot. All right. Next up, we are going to do the hardest and most important thing of this whole entire show. We're going to externally rotate these legs. And I'll explain to you what that means in just a second. Right now, our feet are flat on the ground. All right. What I want you to do is rotate this whole entire leg backwards, 90 degrees, so that from this foot flat position, we are going boom. Heel is down, toes are up, knees are pointing up, quads are pointing up into the air. Okay, the reason why this is important, and we have to do this on both legs, by the way. So boom, heels down, toes up, knees up, quads up. We do this because this rotates the thigh bone out of the way of our hip bone, our pelvis. And that makes it so they don't smash into each other and there's no more pain, at least here in the bone. Now all the pain that is left is the pain of your muscles getting stretched. So we're ready to begin. We are already in a side split, by the way, everybody, especially if you're new and you've never done this before. This is the beginnings, and we're going to get deeper, okay? From here, I want you to slowly wiggle a little bit from side to side. If you're deep enough that you're able to do this with just your hands, you can get on your fingertips and still wiggle a little bit from side to side. If you have been stuck for a couple of seconds now, don't worry. Just try your best. From here, keep on wiggling, keep on squirming, keep on trying to push your feet out a little bit further. And when you can't go any further, we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Right now, I want you to relax as many muscles as possible. If your toes are flexing really hard, trying to point your toes into the air, you can relax them. If your calves are tense, you can relax them. If your knees, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, whatever are tense, Try to relax them. Sigh, exhale. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We're done with the first one. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your legs in. The further you walk your hands forward, the easier it will be to pull your legs in and come back into a kneeling position. You don't have to kneel if you don't want to. You can flop on the ground. You can flail. You can be a dramatic, oh no, that was so bad, if you want. I don't care. I can't see you anyway. From here, we just put a whole bunch of tension into our legs. And I might not have said this already, but we care mostly about how relaxed our legs are. We've been sighing, we've been relaxing and breathing out as much as we can to get as many muscles as chilled out as possible so we can get slightly deeper into the stretch every couple of breaths, right? We're going to do the same thing, except for the side splits, for this stretch, we do 3 rounds of 30 seconds instead of 1 like everything else. And so we got really intense, shaky, wobbly stuff going on right now. What I want you to do is come up into standing, and I want you to shake out your legs. All right? I want you to imagine your ankle is super loose and flexible, and it's just made of jello. I want your ankle to be flopping all over the place. It doesn't have to be fast, but it does need to be loose. Okay? So just try your best to relax. Relax. If your ankle can start flopping around and going all over the place, that means all the muscles that are upstream of it, that control whether or not your ankles are flexing, pointing, rotating to the left or right, those muscles are relaxed. And that is what we want. So relax those muscles. Relax. Shake. Wiggle. Shake. Wiggle. Shake. If you have not switched to the other leg, I have already. So, switch to the other leg when you got a second. From here, hopefully, your leg muscles are feeling a little bit more relaxed. Next, we're going to move on and do a little bit for our hips, because right after we do stuff like this, the hip muscles over here tend to get a little bit irritated and get a little bit grumpy and crampy. So what I want you to do is put all your weight into one leg. I want you to put your big toe down in the other leg, and I want you to rotate your knees in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Notice the rest of the body is not moving. The only thing that's moving here is this thigh bone in that hip socket. We'll bring the knee in and out and in and out and in and out. And if this looks familiar, this looks like a dance move, you are absolutely right. This is basically some stanky leg, and you can add that in if you'd like. Other side, all the weight is in one leg, other leg is down, big toe is supporting the whole entire other leg. There's almost no weight on this leg, by the way, peoples. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Faster, stanky leg. And when your hips are feeling a little looser, they're moving a little smoother, we're ready to get into side split number 2. Once again, we're standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. We're opening up our legs as wide as we can. If your hips are pinching, if they're hurting, bring them in just a little bit, and we're ready to fold. Focus on that belly button, bring it down into the ground. Put your hands on the ground for a little bit of support. If you can't get there, if it's not very comfortable, you can elevate your hands with either a yoga block, a stool, even a chair. Any of those will work. From there, we're going to externally rotate our legs. Okay? What I want you to do is take this foot from this position, rotate that whole leg, boom. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up, quads are pointing up. All right? We're going to do this on both sides. So I'm going to lean back against this wall for a second and boom, do the other leg. Heels down, toes up, knees up, quads up. It is not going to be very gentle on your heels. So if you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in there, get your hands down on the ground to take some of that pressure off immediately. You can also wear some flip-flops to help give your heels a little bit of padding for support. And I think it's time to continue. This is your side split position. If this is the lowest you can get, it's absolutely fine. This is a great starting position. Start to wiggle. Keep wiggling. Squirm, shake, push out, and see if you can get just a little bit deeper. And breathe. Keep wiggling, keep shaking, keep adjusting, and If you are close enough to the wall because you followed my directions and stood 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, you might be able to rest your butt against the wall, and that might give you a little bit more stability. So slightly lean back, rest your butt against that wall, have your fingers on the ground, and see how low, how deep you can get into this stretch. Whew, that is our side split. We're ready to go. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Feel free to add a little wiggle at any time if you feel like you can get a little bit deeper. Otherwise, try to relax as many muscles as possible in your feet, in your toes, in your calves, in your quads, in your hamstrings, in your hips, in your glutes, in your low back. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, we're almost done, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Oh, walk your hands forward. The further forward you walk, the easier it will be to pull your legs in underneath you and bring yourself out of that stretch. Oh, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, and sigh, grunt, groan, make more sound effects. Whew, that is our second side split. We're going to come back up into standing. We're going to shake out our legs, release as much tension as possible, and get back into the third and final side split. Let's go. Come back into standing. Shake out your legs. Again, we're trying to get those ankles as relaxed as possible. And when the ankles are flopping all over the place, everything above it is going to be chilling. All right? Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. All we care about is relaxation. How you do it is not that important, but if you need more specific and clear advice, I want you to imagine you're flicking your leg out. You're just snapping that leg. Maybe you're stepped in a puddle, you're whipping the water out as far as you can off your toes, and when you're whipping that leg, your ankle is loose, just flicking forward. Take that same flicking, general, tensionless ankle and make it chill with the rest of the leg too. You can drop the knee, drop the leg, shake it out, wiggle, flop, and let's get to the other side because we've been doing that one for a long time. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. And when your legs are feeling loose, we're probably ready to move on to our hips. Cool? Stand and put all your weight into one leg. Take the big toe of the other foot, drop it down, and have absolutely almost no weight in that leg. We're rotating the knees in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Pick up the pace, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg. And let's do the other side. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down on the ground. We're rotating the knee in, out, in, out. The knee is bent mostly because it helps you to see that the leg is rotating in and out. You don't actually have to keep your knee bent. You can totally do this with almost the leg completely straight, right? And of course, add in that stanky leg. You can also combine both the knees in and out at the same time and do other dance moves, all right? Make it fun, make it enjoyable. We got one more side split. Let's wrap this up. Let's go. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. For most people, that's 1.5 footsteps in front. And let's open up those legs. Open, 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 open. If you're feeling pain here in the hips, you're feeling a pinching sensation, you've gone too far, bring your legs back in, and we're ready to focus on folding that belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Whew. Put your hands down, give yourself a little bit of support. If you're not quite able to reach very far down, use the yoga block. Elevate your hands. Use a stool. Elevate your hands. Use a chair. Elevate your hands. And from here, we're going to do the most important part of this entire show. We're going to externally rotate the thighs, the whole entire leg bone. Okay? Right now our feet are flat on the ground, right? We want to rotate that leg whoosh, so that the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are up, and the quads are pointing up. We want to do this on both sides. Whoosh. When you have both your legs rotated so that your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, your quads are pointing up, this is called external rotation. And we've basically rotated the thigh bones so that they don't smash into the hip bones ever again. And that makes it so the only things holding you back from your stretch, from your split, is your muscles. Now, we are dropping down and putting a whole bunch of tension on our muscles. Do a little wiggle from side to side. Push those legs out if you can. If you can't, it's perfectly fine to stop. You don't have to keep going. And you just have to give me a couple seconds to keep going. From here, breathe, relax, sigh, droop, relax as many muscles as possible, and get deep into your deepest stretch. This is our third and final side split attempt. And relax your calves, relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your hamstrings if you can. It's gonna be hard, I know. Relax your glutes, relax your low back, relax as many muscles as you can. Relax your quads too. Breathe. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. We've been talking a lot about resting our butt against the wall, but if you walk your hands forward, sort of where your stool was in front of you when we're first starting, you will start pointing your belly button more down into the ground, and your upper body will be closer to horizontal, parallel to the floor. And when that is happening, your inner thighs will feel more of a stretch. All right. So let me just clearly demonstrate the difference. When you're sitting with your butt against the wall, your upper body is going straight up into the air, right? When that happens, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your hamstrings. When you walk your hands forward or even drop down onto your elbows, your chest, your upper body, is going to be closer to the ground. And when you're that direction, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thigh muscles instead of your hamstrings. I hope that makes sense. We've been holding this for a long time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. We're done. Oh, crawl on the ground. If you're ready to just give up, you can sit too. You don't have to do anything at all. Just take a second. Oh, for yourself. Ooh. Ah. We have just done all the hard stuff. Now we just gotta relax. We gotta check some of our joints, check everything is working good, and we'll be all done. All right. Oh, I've seen a whole bunch of comments come in. I'm gonna take a second to scroll because I feel bad. What is the time? Oh, we're 3 minutes into that. We're good. We're doing good. Stephanie says the visuals you're giving me. I don't know what that means, but I hope it's good. Ken, oh my God, with crazy scared face. I don't know if that's a good sign. Okay, well, we're done with those, so you don't have to keep looking at that. Let's go. Come back up into standing. We're shaking out our legs. We're getting loose. We're wiggling. We're shaking. We're flopping. We are wet, soggy, overcooked noodles, and we're gonna just flop around. All right. I want you to imagine you are one of those air things, the balloon things with the fan that just goes like this at car dealerships, where there's like a hole in the hands, and so they go, except you got to include your legs. All right, so shake out the legs, shake out your arms, shake out everything, get loose, get floppy, get relaxed, and keep on shaking out the tension. When you master relaxation or relaxing on demand, there's a couple of perks. One of them is it helps you get into other stretches faster, so that you're not like, oh, I'm super tense, I'm super cramped up, and all of a sudden I have to go do more stuff in my leg or my arm doesn't work. You get to relax, they can chill out, you know how to shake out the tension in your joints, in your muscles, and you can relax everything. It makes it easier for you to recover in between exercises, all right? In this case, I guess, helps you recover in between the stretches. You might have also noticed every time we got back into a stretch, because we shook out the tension in our legs, it was easier to get into a slightly deeper side split stretch. All right. Those are some perks. And this is all like training your nervous system. So the more you do it, the more easy it will become for you to relax on command. And that's a very valuable skill because cramping is the opposite of relaxing on command. It's just flexing real hard not on command at all. All right, I'm out of random explanations, so let's move on into some more shaky stuff. We've shaken out both legs, I'm pretty sure. So let's take the action to the hips. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down, rotating the knee in and out and 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 in and out. We haven't talked about this yet today, but if you start really leaning into that leg, all of your weight is really here, and you start straightening out this leg and you start rotating that leg really fast while keeping the muscles really loose, your whole leg starts to turn into something that looks a little bit like jello. All of your quad tissues, all of your quad muscles, your thigh muscles start shaking and flopping all over the place, and that is going to be really helpful for relaxation. So once you've mastered that, go try and do the other side. We're doing knee, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, faster. All your weight in one leg, just the big toe, straighten out the leg, shake, get the quads flopping and turn that leg into jello. And oh man, that's really tiring. That is a whole bunch of relaxation for our legs. We're going to do a couple of joint checks and we're going to wrap up for today. First thing I want you to do is do some hip circles. Take a nice and slow, work through that full range of motion at the hips. Right after the side splits, I tend to feel a whole bunch of pressure and tension right here in the sides of the hips. Oh, and I like to grunt and groan. So if you're making sound effects, don't worry, I can't hear you. Hopefully nobody else can hear you. Make as many sound effects as you need to, all right? Have fun, enjoy, and if it makes you feel better, make as many noises as you like. Whew. From here, take a couple seconds to focus on anything that feels a little weird, feels a little bit tight for you. Most of us have tight low backs from, just being humans in our modern world. And if that means you need to fold forward and just touch your toes a little bit, relax, take a couple seconds. All right. From here, we're going to do a quick high knee. Lift the knee up. Whew. Other one. Boom. If they went up, you don't have to worry about it. We can move on. From here, let's look at your toes. All right. Your toes should be able to move similarly to how your fingers can move. Maybe not nearly remotely as dexterous, because your fingers actually have to do things in life and your toes just get stuffed in shoes. But technically, they have the ability to be doing a lot of stuff. And what I want you to do for a second is to spread your toes out as wide as you can. I also want you to imagine that your floor is really cold, because for most of us it's winter time, and you're trying to have as little bit of your feet on the ground as possible. So I want you to clench your toes and sort of balance on the sides of your feet for a second. And then, I don't know what else I want you to do. I'm making this up as I go. I've never done this. I got it. I want you to come and step forward and sort of stretch out the front of your toes. So you bring your heels up into the sky while you're keeping your big toe down on the ground, and just see what your toes can do. Maybe do the opposite. Stretch out those toesies. Why am I doing this? It's because your toes are really important for keeping yourself stable on the ground. All right. When we're doing stuff like earlier in the Cossack switch, I talked about having your heels down on the ground for stability, right? But there's more to it than just your heel. Your big toe and the chunk of flesh right beneath your big toe, and just, I guess not beneath, but right behind your big toe over here, and the same under your pinky, just behind it. Those 3 points, your heel right here, under your big toe, right here under your pinky toe, they form a little bit of a tripod, all right? And when you're in that tripod, you start leaning really far forward and you're starting to fall off balance. Your toes, each of those individual toes, can cramp down and grip the floor and help you stay super stable. So don't sleep on what your feet can do. They are super useful for your movement. All right. I don't have any other crazy moves for you to try with your toes. If you really want more toe exercises, let me know, and I'll actually think about them so that they'll flow into the show a little bit better. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna do some squats. Okay. We're really only doing one squat and we're doing some calf raises. What I want you to do is keep your legs pretty neutral right beneath you. And I want you to drop into a squat. But instead of a regular squat where you're sort of like this, I want you to bring your chest down to your knees and sort of feel like you're almost falling over. Okay? When you're doing this, your toes should kick in. They should be gripping the floor to help keep you from toppling over. And that's what we want. When your toes are working real hard, chances are the arch of your foot is going to get involved, is going to get activated, and it's going to support yourself in this movement as well. That's exactly what we want. Next, I want you to try your best to push your knees forward past your toes a little bit, and you should start feeling a whole bunch of stretch in your Achilles tendon and in your calves. You can poke your calves to double check. They should be really tense and hard. From here, your quads are probably crying and are wishing you will stop, so we will wrap this up real soon. I want you to put your fingers down on the ground, and I want you to try your best to do a couple of calf raises, all right? Lift your heels up as high as you can off the ground. Do a couple of these. Take your hands off your elbows, or take your elbows off your knees if you want, and okay, we're done. That's it. Oh man, my calves are tired. Oh, what we just did was force our toes to work really hard, force the arches of our feet to work really hard, force the Achilles tendon, the calves, the quads, the glutes, the low back to work really well with our hips, with our knees, with our ankles, with our feet, right? So most of your lower body muscles and joints should be pretty solid. If you were able to do like 75% of those things, you're in a pretty good spot. Cool? That's what the joint checks are for, just to make sure all your muscles are still working well together. And with that, we're ready to wrap. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in to practice consistency with me today. We just wrapped up. How many minutes have we been going? 72 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern to practice the number one most important quality, consistency. You can have the best plan out there, but if you can't follow the plan, it's not really the best plan, right? So we care the most about consistency, and that's why we do the live every single day to hold me accountable and help you stay accountable. And we do the same workout basically every day so that you don't have to work so hard and make your brain struggle to keep up while we do the things that need to happen consistently. Cool? Is there anything else? Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you need help practicing consistency, this is the place to be. All right? I'm going to grab the stool. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to review some chat because I have not been back here very much over the last hour and 12 minutes. I'm going to take a quick look over on YouTube because usually there's fewer comments. I'm going to scroll real quick. Oh, wait, there's actually a whole bunch that I missed today. Jax5773 says hello. Eduardo says, hi, friends. How are you all doing? Eduardo, welcome back. It's good to see you. Hope you've been well. Oh, Jax5773 over on YouTube is actually Che from TikTok. And has shared the live to bring more people here tonight. Thank you, Che. I appreciate it. And it seems like it's worked. There's a whole bunch of comments happening on YouTube. I appreciate it. Queen RR is welcoming Eduardo, appreciating Jax, and Jax is always trying to send gifts. I really appreciate it. I appreciate how much effort you're putting into helping support the live. You really don't have to send any more gifts. Your time is the most valuable thing. But even if it wasn't locked, Ken would say, no, Che, you already do a lot on TikTok. Oh, you got it, Queen. All right, thank you. I didn't even, oh, wow. Okay. All right. I'm going to start scrolling around on TikTok and see where we are at. We are live in the mornings only on Saturday and Sunday. All right, so we were live this morning and we were live yesterday morning, and that is because on the mornings there are a lot of people ready to exercise. If you are very interested in more morning exercises throughout the week, shoot me a message. Everybody on the live, if you're interested in more morning exercises, shoot me a message and let me know. I could probably make that work. But I need to see that there's a lot of people who are interested who want to do it, because it is a lot of extra work to do another live, because I already go live an hour and 15 to 2 hours a day, right? That's a lot. So if there's enough demand, I could probably make something happen. No promises, but yeah, let me know. Shanene says hi. Hello. Jane says yes, morning exercise. Yvette says yes in the morning with 15 hearts and lots of emojis with heart eyes. Jane says, please. Okay, I will look into it, and I will run a couple of random spontaneous experiments to see if it gets enough attention for me to get my act together to do another show because my hips are very tired. We do double shows Saturday and Sunday mornings and Saturday and Sunday nights, and we also have Friday night. So between Friday night and Sunday night, which is right now, we have 5 shows happen in like 50 hours. It's like on average 1 in 10 hours. And my hips definitely struggle to recover from it. But that is because I go all in. I'm doing the whole entire workout, and I'm trying to make progress at the same time for these shows that I do. If we were to increase the number of shows, it might not be the same style of exercise. I don't know if I can maintain 2 rounds of side splits per day, 7 days a week, right? That's a lot. So I don't plan to do that. But if you guys are interested in some basic calisthenics instead, I would love to spend more time getting into strength training. And that might be something that I could try and figure out a way to do in the mornings. Let me know if that sounds interesting. Okay, while that is getting responded to, I am going to scroll real fast up behind and see where things are. I'm almost 32 this year. Jane says, yeah, I love strength training. Okay, that sounds promising. Okay, that's 1 vote for yes to strength training. Okay, I'm going to scroll up real quick and see if there are old comments that I have not looked at, have not seen for me to respond to. D-Light is talking about heel pain trouble. The Roxy tried to respond. Oh, anything to help with heel pain too. Are you experiencing the heel pain because of the stretching? Because when we get into the side splits, especially when we get into this position where we're externally rotating the legs, where the heels are down and the toes are up and the quads and the knees are pointing up for the side splits, that's a lot of pressure on your heels, right? In general, the quick and easy fix tends to be get a little bit of foam under the foot, and that should help you both get deeper into the stretch and take off some of that pressure. Wearing some flip-flops usually will also do the trick. And if you have heel pain otherwise, though, just in general in your feet, like when you're walking or when you're standing, I don't really have a good answer to that question. You could potentially wear softer shoes. You could potentially change the way you're walking so you don't heel strike as much. You could potentially have more control over your muscles while you're walking so that you're not falling and stomping into each step. I'm exaggerating when I say stomping just to like emphasize why your heels could be hurting. I'm not saying that you stomp when you walk. Just if you are a little bit more tired in your steps and you're just dragging your feet and you're, walking in a certain way, sometimes that can have an impact on how much pain you're feeling in the heels. Okay? In general, I think I can only give that very vague, basic advice because I don't know that much about heel pain. But if it's specific to the side splits, when you're doing that with your heels on the ground, that you can alleviate with a little bit of foam. Josh Tree says, thanks, Ken. Good session today. Thank you. Josh, appreciate it. And I'm going to scroll real quick. Yvette says, oh my. And Stephanie is talking about the visuals. Okay. And that means I don't know if my ego or my super ego hurts more. Nothing should hurt. Or at least none of your emotions should hurt. I think, where am I going to go with this? I've been wanting to do the side splits for like 15 years. I took a dance class in high school a while back, 15 years ago, and some of the girls in that class have been dancing since they were like 3.5 months old. I'm exaggerating, but like 3.5 years old. And so they were super flexy and crazy and just like jumping and like doing splits in the sky and stuff. And I was like, damn, that is sick. I want to be able to do that. And I have thought that for like 15 years, and on probably 30 plus occasions, I have attempted to get very consistent with my side splits training. And 15 years later, I'm still working on my side splits. I've only become consistent pretty much for the first time in the side splits training about a year ago. And I've been doing and running this live for a year and 4 months at this point, and I still don't have the side splits. So if there's anything about your ego that should be hurt or anything at all, is that you didn't think to start training and force yourself to be super accountable by doing stuff live on the internet and making people come watch and do it with you. Other than that, I've been doing this show for like a year and 4 months, and I still don't have my side splits. So I don't think you have anything to be hurt by. Cool. Thanks, Christopher. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll real quick through the live and see how much more comments I can hit. Christopher is probably struggling based on that last message. Let's go. Give me a second. One crack and it just all goes away. I don't know what you're talking about, unless you're saying you had like a crack in your joint and all of a sudden all of the tension in your whole back went away. This sounds like I'm like a chiropractor or something, and I'm just, did one of those videos where they go and all of a sudden the person on the chiropractor bed thing goes ugh! And then they're like, oh wow, that's so nice right afterwards. I don't know what you're talking about, but I hope your hips are okay. User 1324-725-092754 says, very good, helping a lot. Amazing. Christopher asks about the lanyard. There's a lanyard? What lanyard? What are we talking about? I'm so confused. Christopher, I got no idea what you're talking about, man. All right. I'm going to keep scrolling. TKL says, thank you so much for Travel with Roxy answering questions. Oh, okay. TKL was asking about what time the lives are. If you don't know already, because I haven't shouted this loud enough today, we usually have a live at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 1 hour and 22 minutes ago that we start, and we do this every day, Monday through Sunday. On the weekends, which is right now, or I guess like 12 hours ago, we also have lives at 9 a.m. in the morning. So you can start your day with a little bit of stretching, with a little bit of exercise, and that's how we do our weekends. If you're very interested in some more morning exercise, I think a couple of people in the chat have been talking about having more morning lives, and I might look into that. So if you're interested, throw it in the comments, throw it in the chat, and I might integrate something else in. Cool. Or maybe I'll alternate days. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Let's see. How are we doing in the chat? I think I have scrolled very, very far back, and I'm not seeing much else. So I'm going to scroll all the way back down and see what's changed and what's updated since we have begun. Yvette says, you're young. Oh, thank you. I think. Do I look older than I... A lot of the time when I get asked that question is because I look like I'm 18, and that's usually the feedback that I get when I give people my age. Like, oh wow, you look much younger than you behave, because I'm a child, a man child. Jane says, I'm Pacific time in California. In Pacific time, it is 6 p.m. when we start our lives. So if you were interested in the morning live, it would also be a 6 a.m. morning live, which would be a 9 a.m. Morning for me. So I guess potentially I could start a little bit earlier so I can have my schedule be a little bit more regular. But that would mean for you in Pacific time zone, it would be like a 5 a.m. live instead of like an 8 a.m. Eastern live. And I don't know if that makes sense for you. Let me know. Jane says, count me in. Oh man, okay. Okay. I don't know if I'm excited that you're so excited for the exercise, or if I'm not don't interpret anything. Yvette says, no, you look great. You have a strong body. Thank you. Okay. I think we have gone through all of the chat. I will keep you guys posted on TikTok if I decide to start doing more morning lives throughout the week. Chances are they will not be the side split lives because my hips need some time to recover, or I will just be taking it super chill and talking you guys through it, which I can absolutely do. I don't know when I'll officially make a decision on that or what tests I will run because I haven't thought about it yet, but I'll take some time. I'll think about it and I'll let you guys know. I post a whole bunch of other content. If you keep on sticking around in our evening lives, keep on asking the question and I will let you know. I just posted another video on YouTube. There is a whole entire version of this show that is actually slightly dated because I filmed a version of it back in like November. So I've been sitting on this video for like 4 months. I'm not good at editing. Okay, so it takes me a long time to edit, and I rely on my girlfriend to do it. So it took a while. And so the video is ever so slightly different from the live that we're doing today, because I've started explaining things slightly differently, but all of the exercises are the exact same. And they are the same moves that I've been doing for over a year on this live. If you watch that video, you'll see that I was actually way less flexible. I was getting way less deep in all of the stretches that we were doing today. And that video was from about 4 months ago. So go check that out on YouTube. My username is at splits on the side. So it's the same as on TikTok, at splits on the side. And it was uploaded probably like an hour ago. So you should definitely go check that out if you have to miss a live and you still want to get your stretch on. Is there anything else? No. What is my day job? I do marketing stuff. I write emails and ads and things like that. So I have a little bit of flexibility in my schedule, but I am definitely trying to push the live side split stuff to early morning and late in the evening so that I can get the rest of my life sorted out in the middle somewhere. All right. That, I think, is another vote for I want morning exercise. Okay, noted. That is like 4 or 5 people who are suggesting that I do more morning stuff. Noted, 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 noted. Live the lives. Okay. Thank you. All right, I'm wrapping up for today. Thank you so much for coming in and practicing consistency with me. We are live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. At the moment, practicing consistency in hip mobility, working on our side splits, working on better mobility. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you had a good amount of time to cool off, cool down, relax, and I hope you sleep excellently tonight. I'll see you guys in 2.5 hours or something. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things. Okay, bye. Wrapping up over here as well. Jax or Che, thank you so much for the support over on YouTube. I appreciate it. Close now. Bye-bye.